As we think about, the image of President Biden going and embracing the Prime Minister of Israel, and the presidents of authoritarian states, Russia and China, embracing one another in the context of what's going on in Israel, what's going on in Ukraine, what could go on in the Taiwan Strait, right? As we think about American policy in the world and the directions that it's going in, to be analytical about it, do we find that our policies are being shaped by some sort of kind of larger ethical sense about what the country means in the world and why it's important, for example, for a Ukraine or an Israel to be defended on the basis of the fact that they're republics, and that they have the rule of law, or at least they're imperfectly, but aspirations in that direction, being defended against barbarism. A complete, you look at the way that Russia's waged its war against Ukraine, it is a complete absence of an ethical sense about how war is waged. I mean, it's just utterly absent. And you look at the nature of the Hamas attack into Israel. That's one frame for it. Maybe another frame for it is, that's kind of window dressing. What our real ethos is geopolitics, right? We have a national interest in Russia not coming to dominate Ukraine, and as an adversary of the country, right? Or we have a geopolitical interest in an Israel which is strong and well defended, or maybe we just have a U.S. Political calculus that just aligns American policy, right? For right now with Ukraine, although there's a very strong element in American politics, especially in one party heading against that, right? Or aligns American policy with that of protecting Israel. So, again, as we think about ethics, what sort of interests? How do we define those ethoses? So I don't think it's a question of kind of like, when you study foreign policy and history, it's not just kind of like this classic simple question about like, well, are you a realist, or are you, an idealist? Well, it's the way that we're framing this, which I think is a higher quality framing, is what sort of interests are informing your ethical thinking? What are you going to prioritize, right? Both kind of analytically and normatively.